Welcome to today's episode of the O Show. Today we're going to have on my good friend from Scotland, in with a Scottish connection again. I can't help it, they're just good trainers over there. My old colleague and good friend, Chris Irvine. Chris, how you doing, buddy?
Good, big man. Thanks for having me on the show. Looking forward to it.
Can't wait, mate. Can't wait. It's going to be a great one, mate, because what we're going to talk about today is daily routines, structures, and the value in a community. And I think you're a good guy to talk about that, because in Pure Gym, you were one of those trainers who, it made me realize, like, people come for the trainer, not for all the bells and whistles. You used to just set up downstairs, have a bar, like a little circuit that people would go through. And it would just be like this little corner of the gym was Irvine's corner. Like, if anyone else came to that corner, they would get a growl. And and that was like, basically, you just made up a body pump bar and used what was around you, but you didn't have all the bells and whistles of the leg presses, all the fancy kit that the gym had. But people still craved to come to you. And I think that's massive, mate. That made me realize, Irvine's smashing. You're doing 40 sessions a week and you're literally in this little one corner of the gym. You're not even using the full gym. And that made me realize, whoa, this guy is just on to something. He just knows that what you were giving people at that stage was exactly what they wanted. And it wasn't like all the bells and whistles, like I said. It wasn't all the mad, super complicated training or diet help. It was just the fact that they came in, they knew you, they got exactly what they wanted from you, and then they left. And then it was on to the next one. In the same little corner, you still do your thing, and it would just be smashing ahead. So, mate, that's going to be massive, I think, for people in terms of building a community, and why the community and the social aspect of coaching is massive. So I'm really excited to give the guys that, because that's something that the fitness guys can take away, and the normal clients can take away from this as well. But before we get into that, I want to just loosen up with a wee bit of rapid fire questions. So just some silly shit. This is a silly shit round. So what age are you?
Oh, 34 years young.
34. Okay. What part of Scotland are you in now at the minute? Because you're not in Glasgow anymore.
No, I'm in Dunfermline, which is Fife. It's some wee hillbilly town. It's about 40 miles from Glasgow.
Yep. Perfect. Yep. So if you're from Dunfermline or you're from the Fife area, you need to hit this man up, because he's probably the most qualified trainer in that
Oh, they
area.
all know, mate. They all know.
They all know.
There's about 5 trainers here.
Yeah, really?
Nah, I'm only joking, mate. It's actually quite big, but it's definitely a developing place.
But probably 5 quality trainers though, right?
Yeah.
When you take it into account. Right, what's your favourite colour, buddy?
It used to be blue, but now it's red. I think it must be a Nitrafit kind of bias.
So that's the company logos, right? Yeah.
Red, black and white, so I think red's my favourite colour now.
There we go, it's changed. Well, mine's blue, clearly on my brand it's blue, and it's I think it's going to stay that way. You won't see a red OMC logo in a while. Mate, what was your first pet? You ever had a pet?
Yeah, it was a dog called TJ. It was a big German Shepherd.
TJ.
TJ, like your old client and our old friend from Bath Street.
Yeah.
He's got the same name as my dog. I don't know where the name came from. I was born when the dog was there, so.
Oh yeah.
He was there until I was about 9.
Yep.
So that was my first pet. I've got a dog now. It's called Sky. It's a puppy.
Nice. Yeah. So that answers my next question. The next one's going to be, what's better, cats or dogs? I take it it's dogs.
Well, I like both, mate. What happens is I had a cat before as well.
All right.
A couple of previous relationships, I had a cat when I was on my own, and then I got a new girlfriend and she had a dog. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, I had to get rid of the cat basically, because the dog and the cat would fight. Yeah. The cat went to a wee woman who was her husband just died. She was all lonely, so
nice.
Gave her company. So that was nice.
Man. That shows the character of you as well, right? You're always looking out for others.
Top man, mate. Top man. It was really a gumtree I had to put up, and then some boy phoned me and said his mum was really lonely. So I was like, well, who better to give the
Exactly, mate. Right, let's get into this. This is something that somebody brought up on a previous podcast. So your stripper name, it's the name of your first pet. So we know that's TJ, plus the name of the first street you lived on. So TJ, what's your...
TJ Son-in-law.
TJ Son-in-law. I can imagine you doing a strip routine as TJ Son-in-law, mate.
Well, you've seen mine before. I'm not going to get into that.
There we go. That stag do chat, that can stay.
Yeah. Keep that away, man. Keep that away.
Right, Chris. So let's get into it, mate. So let's talk about your journey to become a coach. Because I remember when you were in your second stint at Bath Street whenever I joined. And I'd been there a couple of months, and maybe the first 3 or 4 months I was there, and everyone started talking about, oh, Irvine's coming back, and I was like, who the fuck's this Irvine guy? And then I think I remember you looked on the board and seen my name, and you were like, oh, who's this Indian guy?
I thought I'd never seen that name before, mate. I was like, that's surely some Indian guy. I'm looking about and I'm like, where's this guy? Where's this Odrin guy? I didn't know how to even see him name.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I was kind of looking about thinking, I wonder who this guy is, this Odrin.
Yeah. Definitely. If you look at it, you don't really know what it is. You don't even know it's Irish, really.
So I've never seen it before in my entire life.
So that was your second stint in Pure Gym. So you went away, you done something different, then you came back and you just basically got stuck in with a bang. But let's talk about your journey into becoming a PT, why you wanted to be a PT, and then sort of why you left and then came back into it.
Yeah, mate. So it's actually it's an interesting story of success and failure, I guess. I was in the Marines before that, the Royal Marines. So the kind of natural progression, if you don't want to be a soldier your whole life, is to be in fitness, especially if you love fitness, which I did. So when I was leaving, they give you grants so that you can go back in the community and work, essentially. So they paid for my PT course, which was just a 6-week standard course, 95 in a local hotel in Glasgow, just in there hammering it all day, and then online work at night. And during that process, I was training in Bath Street actually at the time, and I kept thinking to myself, I just want to be a PT so bad. I used to always think about it even before the Marines, how being a PT was something I just always wanted to do. And then as soon as I finished my course, I went and sent an email in to the manager at Bath Street, and they literally hired me on the basis that it was basically they were allowed to hire 15 PTs at the one time, like have 15 PTs on shift.
Yep.
So I asked the manager once she hired me, I says, what made you hire me? She went, you're the only person to get interviewed and we need another person. So I was like, all right, fair enough. Thanks for your honesty. So my interview at the time probably wasn't the best. I wasn't glued up on anything fitness. So even when you do your course, it's like the most basic way of qualifying somebody into this industry is to do your level 2 and level 3. So everything I learned after that was training with the guys in Bath Street, like Scott Simpson, like Richard Reef at the time, all these guys who had more experience than me. I would just kind of learn from them. The first time round, I basically went from being a soldier, getting about 16 grand a year, to being a PT, and I was taking like mostly cash in hand at that time because I didn't know how to run a business properly. So I was basically like getting paid. I was probably doing about 20 sessions average a week, so I was getting a lot of money for what I was used to. But I was just going on big expensive holidays, just not caring. I didn't have really any business plan, any kind of life plan. I was just proper causing chaos outside of work. Like I'd go and party, I'd go to Vegas, I'd come back from Vegas, go on holiday. So at that point in time, I was on rent. Average PT, on rent, and I actually literally couldn't pay my rent that time. Because I went to Vegas for 2 weeks, spent a ton of money, came back from Vegas, and then 4 days later I went to Cyprus for a week. So I was like, yeah, mate, I must have spent about 8 grand or something in that month. So I literally said to the manager, look, I can't pay my rent. She's like, you need to leave. So I just took a job basically unloading lorries all around Scotland and McDonald's basically. And then I thought, I need to get back into my real passion, man. Like, made a mistake. So I've had to be thinking about it. Went and applied to a few other places, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try and get back into Pure Gym. I loved it in there. The guys are good. The gym's good. The culture's good. And then I basically spoke to Scott Simpson, who's a PT, and he kind of spoke to the managers, and they're like, you know what, like everybody like Chris is in part of the team. So went back in, got my job back basically, and then I just kind of knuckled down for them, mate. That was like the failure I had before. I looked at that and said, right, what do I need to do different? Screwed the head on, started learning about business, started learning about just how to kind of care for people, look after people, and then it just kind of boomed for them, mate. Like you said, I wasn't the most experienced and most like technical personal trainer, but my people skills were like high in my priority list, and it was just something I was quite good at. My classes were always packing. I didn't know at the time I was lead generating because I just spoke. I wasn't actually like thinking it was lead generation. I was just kind of about chatting to everybody because that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
And I just built a profile for myself in the gym that people know this guy, friendly, cares. And then, as you say, I had Irvine's Corner where I was just bashing out like 9-10 sessions a day.
Yeah.
And to be honest, people would see me training there as well because the studio was just along for there. You need to come in and out Bath Street in that same and look down there when you're coming in. So was a good viewing point for people to see me as well.
Yeah, 100%. That's massive as well. You positioned yourself in the one place people going in and out of the gym, plus going to the classes, which at that time, there was that one studio that was massive there. Like,
Yep.
it was, in hindsight, it was like prime real estate, but nobody really thought of that because you were in the corner by where the power plates were, and it was like the functional area, I guess, at the time more than anything. So
Irvine knew, mate. Irvine knew.
That's it. That's just thinking ahead. Like, and in hindsight, now that you say it, I'm like, actually, that was really fucking smart.
Yeah, but as a community part, like, this is something I knew before I started reading books all the time. But humans need, like, in a community sense, we like to belong to something.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when you're a soldier, you belong to whatever faction you're in. When you're a football player, even amateur level or any sport, you're part of that team. We love that feeling. Like, some of my best memories are playing for an amateur football team, and I just loved being part of that team.
Yeah.
We used to win cups together. We used to go and drink together. If I missed one training session, I wonder what happened. I love being part of that unit.
Yeah.
And that's the same as all humans. We all like to be part of something. Even if it's just you're doing one-to-one sessions, they're still part of the big old community.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've got a Facebook, we get posts, and when you post in your community, read that, they all feel part of that community, feel part of something. Does that make sense? So we like to be part of a tribe. That's why humans are so successful, the most successful species that ever lived on the planet, because when the I don't want to go too technical, but we are Homo sapiens, basically. There was all different forms of humans.
Yeah.
When our brain developed, it developed into a kind of communal society, and that's why we thrived and grown into who we are now, because we managed to kind of learn and grow together. And being part of a community is the main reason that humans are where they are today. Because the older humans would fight, like, there'd only be a tribe of 4 or 5 people. They'd all try and kill each other, and it'd be far apart. But when Homo sapiens came around, like 100,000 years ago, what would happen then is we'd get tribes all up to about 150. And that's why, and then after that, you had religion and all that. And that's why humans became the successful they are today. Religion is just a form of keeping people social and, like, sticking to laws. And that's why we are where we are today. Whether you agree with religion or not, I don't really care. I'm not religious myself, but it's got a lot to do with how successful we are, because it kind of kept a lid on that kind of chimpanzee human aggression that we had thousands of years ago.
Yeah, massive, mate. And, like, I guess we don't really think that far back of how we developed, and we grow as, like, teams and clans and tribes, like you said, and that's been going on for hundreds of thousands of years. So, like, whether it's your fitness goal or whether it's like that office environment where, like, I'm sure a lot of people are struggling now, because especially at the start of the lockdown, they're so used to working in a big office. Maybe they work for an electric company, a gas company, a call center, and they're used to having somebody sitting right next to them or behind them, and they're used to talking to Dave behind them, or Chris over there and Sally over there. That, like, they've got this little tribe that's around them at work, and whenever they went to that, oh, you got to lock down, you've got to work like this and talk to people. Like, Sally's on one side of the Zoom call, Dave's on the other. Like, that's why people probably struggled a lot with this at the start, because of that lack of community.
Yeah, mate, most of the time when people really enjoy a job, if you ask them why they enjoy it, most of the time it is the people they work with. That's why we've all got fond memories of working in Bath Street.
Yeah, 100%.
Obviously we love our clients, and that's good memories as well. But see, if you think about it, the community we had in there at the time was probably one of the best working communities I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, big time.
Like, do you know what I mean? We used to, in our spare time, we'd either train together, or we'd just sit and have, at the time I used to think, am I wasting my time sitting here for a wee hour? If you go past an hour, 2 or 3 hours, then you probably are wasting time. See that kind of hour where you get to sit with a couple of guys who you connect with on a better level, whether you're a personal trainer, you work in an office, whatever you do, that is special time. You don't realise it at the time. You can take it for granted almost, but there is a lot of that's when you're kind of bonding with people, and that's what feels good when you got up the road at night and you're like, when that was good today, sitting chatting with Big O, Simpson, Chris Bradley, all the guys who we used to sit and just kind of have a random chat about anything. It could be as shallow as jokes, or it could be as deep as a real topic that meant something.
Yeah. I mean, I remember that, like, community as well. And I remember, like, you were a massive reason for my growth, because when you joined back, I was still a shift PT. So anyone who doesn't understand how the gyms work back there, it's where you've got a choice of doing 15 hours PT, or you can pay them £400 or £500, which is about $1,200 per month. And you've got your option. You either pay rent or you do the shift. So I was still a shift PT. And I think I was doing about maybe 20 hours per week, probably a similar position to you. But you came in and you built up faster than I did, and you went on rent reasonably quick, I think. I'm not sure how long it was, but I remember thinking, shit, Irvin's come in, and like I was here 2 or 3 months before him, and he's now 2 or 3 months ahead of me in terms of like how many sessions he's doing, and he's paying rent, and he's living the life. And I remember I just went up to you and I was talking to you about rent, and you pushed me to go on to rent. You were like, oh, listen, like you'll make this work. Like you'll 100% make this work. You've got the skills, you've got like the personality to do it. And that was a big part of it for me, is like you sort of kind of pushed me to do it. Not, you didn't force me to do it, but you drove me in that right direction. And that's, again, like surrounding yourself with those right people. It's like those clients, those guys who were on rent like yourself, pushed me to go to that next level. And that's the same with that community thing as well. If you're surrounding yourself with a load of shite bags who don't want to grow, and they're in this fixed mindset of we can only do this amount of sessions or whatever, and then you see somebody like you come in who had a growth mindset of, okay, I'm going to do shifts until I can go on rent. And as soon as I can go on rent, I'm going, and I'm not going to look back. And I was still kind of holding on. I was like, oh, but rent, like it's 400 or 500 quid. What if I can't pay that? Plus my house rent, plus my food, plus like the nice stuff you like to do. Like I was just starting to date Esther at the time. Like you like to go out for meals. And I was like, what if I can't afford to do all this shit? And you just say to me, listen, no, it'll work out. People will see you just training clients more rather than cleaning equipment. And they'll realize that you're one of the premium trainers in here. And that sort of pushed me to go next level, which then pushed me like to level up in terms of business and different things that has benefited me over here. So again, the community doesn't just mean like the tribe in terms of like that. It can just mean like, you're my tribe. We're sitting down now and we're having a chat. And however often we chat on the back of this, like that's the tribe moving forward. If you're surrounding yourself with the right people, it doesn't have to be a big team, but if you've got 1 or 2 or 3 people and that is your community, and they push you to be better like that, then all the better for it, right?
That's it. I mean, you'll find yourself naturally being drawn to people who have similar mindsets to you. Even at the time you were a little bit scared, you still had a growth mindset. You just had a wee bit of fear. And sometimes it's hard to look at yourself and think, you know what, I'm really capable of that. And sometimes it needs somebody on your level to turn around and say, because I could see what you could be capable of going on rent. Like, but sometimes it's hard for the individual person to see that themselves. So the community can turn around and say, like, that's one of my skills. I can kind of look at people and say, do you know what, that guy is going to make it. So I'm going to tell him. Have you won it like that? I want to come up and kind of BS you and say, listen, big man, I believe you can go on rent. I can believe you're going to kill it. I'm just falsifying what I believe about you. If I didn't think you're ready at the time, I'd say, big guy, why don't you try X, Y, and Z? Reevaluate it in 3 months and then see what it looks like. But at that time, I'm like, the big man needs to just fire right on that rent and sort yourself out.
Yeah, that's it, mate. And it does help to have that, like you said, similar mindsets, similar trajectory. You were already where I wanted to be. So obviously I'm gonna shut up and just listen. If you had said to me at the time, oh, listen, you're only doing 20 sessions if you're lucky on a week, maybe get up to 30, and once you're 30 and you can definitely afford it, or you're a better trainer by the time you can get 30 clients, 30 sessions in the diary, then I would have probably took that on board as well. I would have just been like, okay, Irvine says I need to get better so that I get more clients in because I'm a better coach, and then I'm ready for rent. So it works both ways. Like obviously you could have pushed me one way or the other, but because I was looking up to you and that you were where I wanted to be, whatever you had told me, I probably would have fucking done it, because it's that buy-in, right? You've got to surround yourself with people who you're buying into and you want to learn and grow from.
No, I agree, big man. It's all about trust as well. If somebody you didn't trust and kind of buy into said that to you, like, you probably had that before with people who come up and give you advice and you're like, come on, man.
Yeah,
please.
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, they're not even in the same level as you, and you get that in this industry all the time. People try to... One of my mates who stays in Australia, actually, he moved there and he's got a missus and he's unemployed. He's literally not contributing to society in any way. He's still one of my best mates, right? But he sent me a text 2 weeks ago. I've got it on my phone. He's like, trying to give me advice on my business because he's reading books. And I was like, and he goes, you don't even get a job, mate. I'm like, I'm literally in the trenches, mate. Like, literally keeping my business thriving. Says, you're a theory guy. You can read books and talk rubbish. I'm a practical guy. I'm in the trenches actually doing it, mate.
Yeah.
So he's like, nah, fair enough, mate. I'm like, don't start giving advice to people when you've never done something yourself.
Yeah, that's fair as well. You got to have the right people around you and like the right experience. And if you're getting advice
Yeah,
from somebody who hasn't been there and lived through it, that's why probably the people who I speak to the most from back in Glasgow and Scotland in general are like you, Chris Bradley, Scott Simpson. You know, the people who are still pumping out like quality content. They've got a good business head on them. They've got a level business head, and we all want each other to progress to that level, that next level, and like keep leveling up. Because even if you came over to Perth and you set up right next to my gym and you started talking to my clients, you're still not competition to me because there's enough for everyone to go around. And if we can all thrive and grow and push each other to be at that next level, that's what we want, and that's the type of people we need to surround ourselves with, right?
Nah, it's very important, mate. Especially, well, that's what I kind of said to you before we started proper getting into the chat. We need to keep in contact with each other more because it's like, get a proper phone call together and have a good chat because it's good to have people on our level. And there's not a lot of these people going around. It's just a fact, mate. There's not a lot of these people with the same mindsets going around. So you need to value the ones you've got and make sure, no matter where you go in life, that you stay in contact with those friends and
100%.
Business sense as well.
Yeah, 100%, mate, 100%. Now, part of what you do as Nitrafit in Dunfermline is you've got the boot camp, right?
Yes.
So how many people would attend an average Nitrafit boot camp, or how many people would you have on the rosters at any one time?
Well, class-wise, it's usually somewhere between 20 and 30 people show up to a class.
Yeah.
But at peak, before the coronavirus, we had about 100 members.
Yeah, perfect.
So boot camp. So because we're spread out class-wise, morning classes, nighttime classes, then it works out quite a nice number of people showing up all different classes.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And obviously, that's a big number of people to be working with overall, right? Like 100 clients just for the boot camp. Never mind like any PT or any like online coaching that you might be doing now. So that just qualifies you as an expert in this community style. So why is community? Obviously, it's important to any boot camp in general or any team. Like my clients are all one-to-one or one-to-one online style. No, there's no group coaching online. It's not like everyone gets the same plan and the same macros. It's not like I don't have that part of my business yet. But why is these communities important? And why is it especially important when you're doing something like a boot camp? For anyone out there who might be thinking of doing a boot camp after we come out of this virus.
Yep. So the first thing, when I always say boot camp myself, and I call it boot camp because it is essentially outdoor training. People just say boot camp, but I kind of try and call it like a fitness community because it's just, if you say boot camp, and especially a guy who used to be in the Marines, it must be me screaming at people and shouting, get your burpees done and all this kind of stuff. But in reality, mate, I honestly believe that the class party is like 20-30% of what they love, and the rest of it is like all these like-minded, mostly it's like 97% females, just by chance. The demographic is like that. They're all the same. They're all the kind of same kind of females with the same kind of problems. So when they meet up, they start to form their own wee running groups and stuff outside Nitrafit as well. But they still come to Nitrafit and love it.
Yeah.
It'd always be like, who's coming to run on a Wednesday night? Who's coming out for a drink on a Saturday? So it's just formed this whole big massive community in itself where these people come for a certain reason. They're clearly looking for something. As humans, we're all looking for something. So they've got good jobs and all their own businesses, and they can enjoy life, but something's missing. Most of the time for the boot camp, it is how they feel about themselves, how they feel about their bodies. They lack confidence going into gyms because they've just never tried it before, and they've never had a coach who would say, look, come in the gym and I'll show you how to do stuff properly, maybe coach them in a quieter space in the gym, and then start progressing through there. They've not had that opportunity, so when they see the boot camp in the community, they come running, and then they just stay because the community's like top notch. Like, so what we've done in the last year, you know, in Australia they'd have big inflatable inside parks where you can just run about bouncy castles.
Yeah.
So we've done one of them. That was crazy. We just had a big laugh. I was fighting with like foam balls and that stuff. And we went to a retreat as well. We went to a wee local place in Scotland where it's got these kind of caravan sites, and we've done like 3 days of fitness and just going out for meals together, climbing hill walks together, all that kind of stuff. This stuff means more to them than anything than the classes, I believe. They love the classes, but I think the community part is like, again, most of these people haven't been part of a football team, they haven't part of a rugby team or any sort of sport before, and now they feel part of something massive and they love it. It's just when they show up, they get attention from each other, they can tell each other their problems. It just grows arms and legs.
Yeah. And is a big part of that like social media? Like obviously Facebook groups are becoming more and more important, even for one-to-one trainers now, to keep their tribe together. But is that part of it, where you kind of introduce everyone on the Facebook group even before they come to the classes, or?
Yeah, so we've got a WhatsApp group and a Facebook group, which I wouldn't advise, by the way, but it just kind of happened at the beginning and we don't want to change it now because they love it. So yeah, we do like the big group stuffs for like introducing people, and then everybody can say, oh, welcome to the team, Oren, welcome to the team, Chris, welcome, and straight away they feel part of the team, even though they haven't showed up yet. Then we'll do stuff like big, massive step challenges. So these women are like, we're not training athletes, we're training average Joe public, people who work in Tesco, people who work in banks, people who don't actually just, all they care about is benching 150 kilogram or deadlifting 220 kgs.
Yeah.
So one of the big things they like to do is step challenges. There's lots of challenges, but the step one's their favourite. So we'll maybe say, right, guys, this week we're going to walk from Scotland to Moscow. We'll put a wee map up, and then we'll get them to do an average step challenge. They'll do their step count towards the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
So say it's like 5 million steps in a week. They work out between them all how many they need to get each.
Yeah.
And they'll start motivating each other, and then they get their steps up at night saying, I managed to do 25,000 steps. I managed to do 18. Well done, guys. Keep it up. And we show them how far they've travelled each day.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
On Facebook. And then it just motivates them to hell, mate. We just finished one yesterday for charity for Marie Curie. Now everybody's doing the NHS over here, so we done one for a kind of local cancer centre.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they've done like 5,000 steps in a week between them all. So one girl was getting like 47,000 steps.
Wow.
I know. So in that sense, mate, because some of these ladies are, as I say, they're not aesthetically built. They've not been training their whole life, so they are carrying the excess body fat or whatever. Okay, they know that themselves. So these step counts are helping them massively in terms of their total daily energy expenditure. So it's a win-win for them and us.
Yeah.
But the community, like you say on Facebook and WhatsApp, is like when you do challenges and you just come together massively.
Yeah.
And days out, stuff like that as well.
That's massive, man. That's massive. And it shows like you moved to Dunfermline in what, 2017?
Yeah, that's right.
So like it was just before I moved here. So like just over 2 years really. We haven't really hit the 3-year mark. And like to go from a boy from Glasgow who knew like a couple of people over that way, you didn't know tons of people. You've built up this tribe of 100 members who come just for the boot camp, plus God knows how many other members who are doing all the other stuff and like one-to-one PT and different things with you. So that just shows like, one, that you're really, really fucking good at this, but also like the value of what you're doing in terms of connecting everyone and how important that is. So that's something that, whether it's like you're a client or you're just a gym goer who's looking at support, maybe you can just talk to somebody who's maybe on the Stairmaster next to you, or you see the same people every day and you just start smiling at them and then you say hello. Like that happens a lot in the gym I'm at, where like if people are competing, somebody might just say to them, oh, good luck for your show, how you feeling, you know? And then like my clients are like, oh yeah, I talked to that girl or that guy the other day, like, you know, they're actually quite nice. And then like they get a little friendship out of that, you know? So even if it's not a boot camp situation, people can still get this little support network, and people can still get the benefits of the community just from the people around them. It doesn't have to be this. You don't have to join a special boot camp. If you do want something like what you do, it's perfect to have that. But it's, I guess, community is important no matter how much it is. Sorry, I say my internet connection is unstable here, so hopefully you can still hear me.
I can still hear you, big guy. You're still talking. Okay. What I will say, add to what you just said there is, it doesn't have to be a massive boot camp. You can have a massive online community. If you're coaching people online and you put a Facebook group together, like I said earlier, they're still part of Big O's community.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still going through the same processes. They're all lifting weights. They've all probably got similar goals. They're all pushing towards something special, and they're all part of your community. So they bought into you as a person, your values, and what you kind of preach to make sure everybody's pushing the same direction. So you are formally, no matter, just because mine's is face to face, doesn't mean communities can't be built online, because they are built online daily.
Yeah,
like people
100%.
like yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, even just, and if it is just in a kind of office space, probably the people who sit closest to you, that's your wee community.
Yeah.
You go and get coffee together, you bring back the cake snack together, or the Fridays when you have your wee cakes, and
Yeah.
that's like, those wee times are special for people.
Yeah, 100%. And it shows because like I had a group which I wasn't really using before this. And now I've got 65 people in there who are clients who were just clients right before COVID started or had been clients earlier in the year. And I opened a free one as well. I was like, I'm not going to pump as much into the free group, but if I can help people with, rather than post every day or every other day, I'm going to post a workout every week, you know, maybe some meal ideas. And I've got nearly 40 people in there just from the free one. And if anyone who's listening to this wants access, I just message me and I can give you access. But it shows that people do crave that community, especially at this time where people are just seeing it on my story. And then they add me on Facebook and I'm like, oh, hey, just checking. Are you just adding me or do you want into this group? And then everyone's like, oh, yes, please. So it shows the power of this, especially at a time like this now where we're isolated. And it's worse for you guys over there, right? You can only leave the house for certain things. We're kind of coming out of the restrictions here in WA at least. But it shows you the power of that at this time. And I bet you the group has went off since the COVID started, right? With people supporting each other.
Mate. I think because, as you say, like, if you're in a lockdown situation, that's when you start to realise even more how important it is to stay in contact with people.
Yeah.
I've been in contact with people since I've been in here who I haven't even spoken to for so long, mate, like so long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I doing that? And I'm like, I think it's that one, I've got a wee bit more time. And two, because you kind of get that feeling that you kind of miss that communication with people in general.
Yeah.
And Zoom's the best we've got just now because we can see each other and chat.
Yeah, 100%. And like, look at us. Like we talk regular enough. Like every couple of months, we'd send a message saying, "Hey, I'm doing this thing with my business. Like, what do you think?" Or we talk a little bit, but we haven't ever since you moved to Dunfermline done a call like this.
No.
So it's good. And obviously, at the start of this, we were talking we're going to do this more often, which is another benefit of the community and having somebody who you appreciate in front of you, that authority who's on the same level as you can then go to for advice and just catch up, even if you just end up talking shit for half an hour, because that's what we need to do on these calls, 100%. So goes to show you that I guess community comes in all shapes and sizes, and we got to use this time to reconnect with people who had been in our community, who maybe we've still been in contact with, but haven't really had the connection with.
That's it, big man. You hit it right in the head there. Connection. Well, it's easy to send a text message, isn't it? And we get lazy. Like, I've been lazy in the past because, again, you don't realise till something happens that you're just texting each other. It's not the same. Even if you send a voice note, it's a step up for a text because then I can hear your voice. And if you send me a video, then it's another step up because I can see you.
Yeah.
But if you're on a video chat live, it's even better. Again, it's the closest you can get to being next to the person and having a chat.
Yeah, 100%, man. And it felt like as soon as you came on, I was like, oh man, it's just Irvine. Like, we just had a chat as normal. He was like, can you hear me? And it's like we just started talking as normal and everything's just all good. And it's it just goes to show you that these real relationships and these real communities and everything, they transcend time. We can just literally pick up and have a chat as if we just spoke yesterday, right? Like it's as if we left Glasgow yesterday and time has just stayed still and we're just catching up again. And that's the true sense of community and friendship and everything that we're talking about, I guess.
Exactly, big man. I was actually speaking to Big Brian for Bath Street as well.
Oh yeah,
in New Zealand.
Yep.
He phoned me. I said, again, it was a bit. I said, "Do you want to come?" I said, he was asking me advice about boot camps because he wants to start one.
Yep.
I said, "You know what, big guy, go on a Zoom call and we'll have a chat about it." He's like, "You sure?" And I was like, "Aye." Maybe we'll run that chat for about 2 hours.
Yeah. Because you had a really close relationship, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, but even then, again, like me and you, I text them now and again.
Yeah.
Because we're busy in life, mate. But again, that's an excuse, isn't it? It's just like, yeah, we're busy, but how long does it take for a wee half an hour phone call?
Yeah,
every couple of weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
We get complacent, mate. That's what we do as humans. We get complacent as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, whenever I spoke to you even for 3 years, you called me. It was like I spoke to you yesterday.
Yeah,
it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, that's it. And it's good that life can continue like that, and we can continue to create friendships and connect with people, you know, all over the world. We couldn't have done this 10 years ago, right? Or we might have been able to do it, but it would have been very choppy, right?
Yeah, it would be the same.
We would have been pen pals, mate, huh? I would have been writing a letter here at my desk.
Writing me letters, my bad grammar, my bad spelling mistakes. What's Irvine saying?
That's it, mate. That's it. So that's been awesome on building a community. I wanted to get a little bit into you and your structure, because I think I remember this from a podcast whenever you were on with Chris on the Glasgow PT. And roughly remember you talking about your daily routine and how everything's locked in place. And obviously, the reason why I want to talk about that now is because people are lacking routine right now. They're used to being at their 9 to 5 or whatever time they got to go work to their job. They're used to doing a commute. You know, they need to leave the house at 8 to get into park in the city, 8:30. Then they're going to grab a coffee at their favourite place. Then they're going to go up, talk to Sandra beside her or Sally over there. They've got this routine that's all built around work. And now it's like, I wake up from my bed in there. I've got to get on the computer for 9. But what happens in between, like your brain waking up at 6 and that, like, is it just mindlessly scrolling Instagram for people, which some people it might be watching Netflix, but people aren't really using their time effectively. And that's what's really, like, that lack of routine is really driving people mental during these lockdowns. Yeah. And obviously the value of a routine is that, you know, exactly, like I've got written on my board here, 3 p.m. Irvine podcast. I've got 8 p.m. I had an interview with my client as well this morning about her experience as a client. And it's like, we need to have these routines set in stone. Like I struggled without a routine for a couple of weeks. I was just chopping, changing. I was trying to do the daddy stuff and trying to do this. And it was just all over the place. So let's talk about your day. Like I know what I do and my tips that I give to clients, but let's talk about how you structure your day previously to COVID and how that's changed now that we've went into lockdown. What if anything has changed?
Well, there's 3 massive stages now. Before lockdown, like literally since the Bath Street days 5 years ago, my routine would be wake up somewhere between 4:15 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. Mostly without an alarm. I set my alarm for 4:30, but I would just wake up. Just somewhere between that. Then I'd do my usual stuff, have a shower, eat my first breakfast. Back then I'd go to Bath Street, my first client would be 6 a.m. Here in Dunfermline, the boot camp would start at 6 a.m. So it's pretty much the same. Get to boot camp, do my boot camp, then come back, and then I'll just start digging into all the kind of work I've got. Now, my routine back then wasn't as structured as I thought it was. It was more just times of being places, if that makes sense. And then I knew I was going to do some sort of work. It wasn't actually structured. So lockdown happened. First 2 weeks, just all over the place. Didn't train, just eating absolute rubbish day and night. First 2 weeks solid. I was still business was the only thing I was doing. Literally, just working my business was like all I was doing. I'm like, right, okay, I'm still a dad, still got a girlfriend, still got family and friends that I need to chat to and make sure everybody's good. They're just working in business all the time. So I got a journal which I've got right here. I'm not going to bore you with it, but it kind of looks like this. Okay, so I started using this like 2.5 weeks ago.
Is that the high performance habits one?
No, I've got that behind me. So I forgot that my missus bought me this journal last year. Kept saying I was going to use it. Forgot I had it, so I went and ordered the high performance journal. And then I got into trouble because she's like, I bought you that ages ago. Blah blah blah. Right. So
there we go.
I thought, right, okay, I'll start using the one she's got. That got delivered. Now, the high performance one's good, but I prefer this one anyway. This is I don't know if you want it. I'll send you a link and you can put it up for guys if you want to get it. It is really good. So I started using this anyway. And what it's got in it is like daily goals, the top 3 things you want to do, what you're grateful for, all that kind of nice stuff, affirmations that kind of help you focus on your goals. So I started using that 3 weeks ago, started meditating, into a wee routine, and then I started listening to this book called The Morning Miracle, which is like that kind of stuff Tony Robbins does, but this guy kind of stole the idea and made a book out of it. Now, what this basically does is like, it's kind of set morning routine. So I only really started this today. This is the first day I've done it. My routine's been good for 2 weeks, but I thought I'll put even more. So this 30-day challenge the guy does, and it's like, so my order of it is these 6 different things, right? So the first, he calls it Savers, Savers, and it just basically means silence, which is some sort of meditation. Affirmations, which is like telling yourself, like Muhammad Ali say, I'm the greatest, I am the greatest, I am the greatest. You say that enough times to yourself and you genuinely feel you're the greatest. And the guy was the greatest, so kind of go along with that. Visualizations for the V. So the big goal wanted to be like one of the world's top online personal trainers. He would visualize what that would look like, what that would feel like, training clients, like having this big, massive portfolio of successful clients, all doing well, big community. So you would visualize what you wanted. It could be It could be something next year. It could be something away down the line. It could be you want to be a great dad in a great family situation. It can be anything. So visualization is the V. The E is exercise. So some form of exercise. Again, I chose to do a run. I'll break mine down in a minute. R was read. So this is all that happened in the morning. Yeah. And then S is scribe, which is basically journal, right? But he couldn't find a word. Savers, the S matched the scribe, he said, right? So
yeah,
just writing stuff down. So you can do it in any order you want, and as long or as little as you want, you get to pick the times. So I thought, right, okay, I'm going to give this a bash. So I started this morning. Now, I've no ran. When I used to be in the I could run for days, right? But I can't run now. I'm 97 kg. I'm just full of muscle. I don't do cardio hardly, so I can't run. So I thought, right, okay, let's start this. Let's up my routine even better and see how it looks. Give this 30-day challenge a try. So woke up this morning. Now, I've been waking up later because the lockdown's on. I don't have to be somewhere at 6, so I don't have to wake up at 4:30. So naturally, I've been sleeping a bit longer. So I'm sleeping somewhere. I was sleeping till about 6 o'clock in the morning without an alarm, and then just getting up and doing work, doing my routine. But I thought, no, I'm going to get up at 5:15. My new routine. Take the dog down nice and quick, let her do her business, get back up the stairs, and then get into my routine. So this morning, I started with a 10-minute meditation. Again, you've got apps for that. This morning, I chose just to use Alan Watts meditation on YouTube. Then I've done 10 minutes of visualization and affirmations, which I've just basically set up a screenshot of a house I'd like to get built for myself, what it looks like in the future, my kids, so the kind of family life, me and the missus, my dog, and my business, and then a place where I can go on holiday all the time. So that was my kind of future. I've not got I want to have a really successful business so that I can have a really peaceful life when I'm in my 40s. That's my plan, right? So it doesn't take much to satisfy me. I don't buy expensive goods. The most thing I do is go on nice holidays. That's it. I don't buy trainers that are over £50. I just don't do it. I don't buy expensive clothing. It's not for me. So it's not about money for me. It's about success to me. Is like having that peaceful life I want with the family and the kids. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going on too much, right? So meditation, visualization. Then I read 10 pages of my book. Something took me 10 minutes. And then I went on a 5K run. Oh my God, which was absolute hell. As I say, I've not run in ages, so I was trying to get under 30 minutes because I've not ran in ages, but I've done 32, which is fine. I've got 30 days to improve. I'm going to do this every single day. I came back, had a shower, and then I started doing my journal, which I just showed you there. I had all that done by 7 a.m. So I started really at 5:40 time I took the dog down and that, and I was finished for 7 o'clock, and I got all that stuff done, and I feel amazing. So I'm going to do this for 30 days and then break it down into something I can do sustainably for the rest of the time. Now, the last 2 weeks doing my kind of semi-good routine in my journal, planning my day, was amazing, but this, I feel, is just going to make me feel even more productive, even more amazing. But for people who aren't into massively training or anything, just having any sort of structure means that you're going to do the things that you want to do and actually get them done. You don't have a routine, you go, I'll do that later, but as the day goes on, you start getting distracted with some other things, and then you get lazy. You start eating a load of rubbish, then you're watching back-to-back Netflix episodes, and at the end of the day, if you ask yourself, are you satisfied with your day? If you keep saying to yourself no, then something's got to change. Something has to change. If you're not satisfied with how your day went, then you need to look inside and say, right, what can I do better? I like to start now. I've went kind of all in with this morning. I don't advise that to people. What I advise people was, right, if you just see yourself at 0, you're just doing nothing that you should be doing. Pick one thing the next day that you can do that's just going to improve yourself in any way at all, and focus on that. So break it down to clients. Right, big O, I'm struggling with my eating, struggling with my training, I'm not motivated, I'm not doing my steps, I'm not really checking in much. Right, okay, let's break it down. So what's the one thing we can do next week that's just going to improve you in general? Right? They'll go, I'm going to eat better. I'm like, okay, are you actually going to eat better though? I tried to tend to push them towards exercising first. But let's just get your steps up and get 2 workouts in. That's it. Let's start with that next week. Let's start with that, and then they start to improve. Let's add in tracking food. Let's add in another workout, and then just build the momentum up. And then the routine becomes fixed without them even challenging themselves too much. Because if you fling it all in too deep, it can throw people off and be like, oh my God, I need to do 3 workouts. I need to check in. I need to do 10,000 steps a day. I need to make sure I'm drinking 5 litres of water, or whatever, 5 cups of water a day, and it just gets too much for some people.
Yeah.
We're in the mindset, because we're PTs and we've been developing for years, that it comes a bit more easier to us because we've had some practice. But when you're not that type of individual, it's harder. So you need to find the steps to get it done properly. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up to fail.
Yeah, that's massive, mate. That's massive.
That makes sense, because what we do is, again, as humans, is you've probably heard this a million times in the last 5 to 7 years, is like people start a new fitness journey and they're like, I'm going to train 5 days a week. I'm going to train twice a day. I'm only going to eat like chicken, broccoli, and rice. Within 3 days in, they're like, they're quitting because they can't do it, because it's not sustainable and it's not realistic. So you need to set yourself up with the right targets. There's the 1% of the world who I call like freaks, who can actually do this stuff all the time, like non-stop. But to be honest, they're the people at the high end. They're not the normal human. Does that make sense? They're like those elite people, like your Tony Robbins and that. They've been practicing this for years and years and years. Sometimes we're a bit impatient with what we try and do as well. I'm like that with business as well. Sometimes I'm like, and I should be here, even though I'm really, really doing well, and everybody else knows I'm doing well. I'm that guy who wants to be doing double A as well. But that's not what happens in life. You need to graft every day and make sure you're doing it smart.
Yeah, and it's just those breaking it down into those sort of steps, whether it's a business goal or a fitness goal. Like if you want to get another 5 clients or an extra grand a month, you need to break it down, right? A grand a month then equals this amount. And then that grand a month allows you to do this. So what's Chris going to do tomorrow that's going to propel him towards getting those 5-10 clients? It's going to get that extra grand so you can go on a nice holiday. And like having that visualization of, right, I'm going to put the work in now and I'm going to do this to get those clients because this is the outcome. If I get this amount, then I'm going to book myself a holiday. Or, you know, if somebody likes buying fancy shoes or whatever, or maybe if I get another 2 clients this month, I'm going to buy myself a new pair of shoes. It could be anything, but it's like when you can see that, not like a reward, because then it's like you're just doing the work to get rewarded. But if you can put the habit down to there's a positive outcome of the habit, like whether it's doing your 5K run, you know, that's going to help you cardiovascularly. It's going to help you if you've got to take part in your boot camp and you've got to show demos rather than maybe if your cardio is a bit shit, you're panting and, you know, you're not setting the best example for your clients, right? So
circuits, man.
That's it. So by doing that 5K run, you got the benefit of, right, when this comes back, you're going to show them that you're an absolute beast when you train and you can do the demo without losing a breath, you know, whatever it is, you can set these positive outcomes to the daily steps that we're doing. And like you said, I think you said 3 tasks you want to do for the day goes down into your journal, like 3 big things.
The top 3 things that I want to complete no matter what in the day. So then I've got a list under that that's like smaller things that don't really matter if I get them done today.
Yeah.
I still would like to get them done today, but so it's like 1, 2. I'll say you can get a 3. You don't need to read it, but you can kind of see the structure. So the top one says something I must do before anything, and then my top 3, and then just a big list of stuff down there.
Yeah.
That's how it's kind of broken up. But like I was saying about small steps, that's one of the phrases I use quite a lot with my boot camp ladies is just one step, just a small step to get to the next step. That's it. If you imagine like standing at the bottom of a staircase and looking up, if there's 10 steps, you cannot make for the first step to the 10th step in one jump. It's impossible. So the first step's the beginning of the goal, and then the top step's like where you want to be. You need to climb every step to get to that goal. So same with a mountain, you don't just look at a mountain and go, well, I'll just stand here in one big spring up at the top of that mountain. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a consistent climb with one step forward at a time. Yeah. Sometimes you might have to take a wee step back, then you go forward again. You know what I mean? But it really has to be broken down simply. Or there's a saying that goes about, and I can't remember where I read it, but it says if you want to help people, keep it simple. If you want to impress people, make it complicated.
Yeah.
We're not in the business of impressing people. We're here to help people.
Yeah.
I'm not here to impress anybody. When people pat me in the back for something, I'm like, get away from me. I don't care. I don't need a pat in the back to feel good. So we're in the business of helping people, mate. That's what we do. But we need to keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah, that's pretty good as well, mate. Like doing it for yourself and not doing it for the applause, right? Because too many people do. If I just lose this weight or do that, whatever the goal is, or if I just earn this amount, then I'll be happy because of this. But you're just saying you're just happy with your daily routine and your structure and everything in your life. And it just gets you to the next day where you can then help more people rather than if I do this, then, you know, everyone's going to love me and think I'm the best and pat me on the back.
Nope.
That's not for you.
Tough love guy sometimes.
That's
sometimes because I've got a business partner, he's like the kind of nice guy who, if they want a wee cuddle, like, oh, you're really struggling, they'll go to Josh if they're like, oh, I just want somebody to say, no, you're doing fine, pal, come on. But I'm the guy, like, they come to me if they want me to say, listen, get a grip of yourself, let's go.
Yeah, get it done. I mean?
So I've got an example in a video, because we do big workshops as well. So we bring all the ladies in and we do like a nutritional workshop or a mindset workshop. So we've got them all sitting in front of us. We've got a presentation and we've got a workbook and we'll work through stuff. I've got a video for one of the presentations where it's chatting about this situation I had with one of my boot campers. She went on holiday to Turkey and she got back and she's like, Chris, there's no way I can get back to class. I feel anxious and I'm not going to make it. And my literal response to her was like, get back to class tomorrow, okay? No fucking about. And she wrote, yeah. And then she showed up the next day, mate, and she's never left.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes, and only sometimes, I'm not a master of anxiety in any way at all, but what I've noticed is a lot of these girls come to boot camp and they feel they've got anxiety, which they have. But I think sometimes when people have anxiety, the people around them try not to upset them, and the anxiety just stays there.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes you have to just say, look, let's just try and get there and see what happens. You don't know yet.
Yeah.
So what I've tried to create is that environment like, okay, you're anxious, but you've got a goal. Let's just show up and see what happens to you. If you can't, you show up and you tell me you're anxious 10 minutes in, I'll let you leave. So sometimes we kind of like, when people say they're anxious all the time, we create an anxious environment where they can feel safe in. But sometimes they get to step out of that safety zone, and then I've got proof of it. Like, there's at least 50 of them who said they were really anxious to show up to class. And I'm like, some of them I actually went and met them for the car so I could bring them in myself.
Yeah.
And then they just, after one session, they're like, I can't believe how good I feel. I can't believe I was anxious. And you have to just step outside that wee comfort zone sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. And by you pulling her up and saying, come on the fuck, we're going to class tomorrow, that's not you being a dick. That's just you giving what you think she needs, right? And we have to have those different hats. Like, I can be both. Like, I can be like the cuddler, like your business partner. I can be like the one to put the arm around the shoulder, or I can be like, if you're my client, for example, you'll respond better than me saying, Irvin, what the fuck, where's your steps? Like, why aren't you tracking your food? Like, you literally, if I literally drill you on it, that's going to cause you to be like, oh, fuck, I need it. I'm not going to let O down again. I'm going to do it. And some people need that. It's tough love, and it's coming from the best place whenever we do put on
they know that as well.
Do it. Yeah, exactly.
And I wouldn't say that to a stranger. I wouldn't say it to a stranger because they don't know me yet. It's when people get to know me, and then I know how I can speak to them as well. So it's like a man management thing. Once I get to know them, they know me. They already know I've got their best interests at heart, no matter what. They know that because I've given them so much value over time. Yeah. And that's why I can speak like that. And I'm just like, I know they'll be like, right, Irvin's telling me to get there, I better get there.
Yeah, 100%.
And then sometimes I can tell when people are really fragile, I'm like, no, come on, pal, let's go. Like, I know you can do more. Like, I know I've seen you doing this in the past. So I'll break that tough love down a wee bit. I'm not going to come and scare a wee kid on that.
Yeah, you're still pushing them in your own little way, but you're being nicer to that person who might break versus the ones who know you and need that drive. So yeah, man, that's awesome. So I think, mate, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I don't even know how long we've been on here, probably about an hour. But
good, man.
I think in terms of what we've done, I don't even know what we're going to call this one, but it's like surrounding yourself with the best people. I think, like, whether it's that coach, whether it's the office environment, whether it's your best friends or the people who you talk to most about business or your goal. If your goal is to lose fat loss and, you know, your sister Sally is fucking pulling you down and saying, why are you losing fat? You're looking unhealthy, you know, versus your friend down the road, Deborah, is saying, oh, come on, keep it going. You're looking really great. You know, whatever it is, we need this community and we need to have this support network. And this is what's massive. And especially now during COVID. And this is something I just wanted to talk to you about, even regardless of COVID, because of the fact that I knew you're good at the community stuff. You're good at the mindset stuff. So I was like, I haven't had somebody on to talk exclusively about this yet, but it is very important. If people want to listen back on this, I'm not going to put anything about COVID into the title because it's as important after this as it is right now.
Absolutely.
So the important thing to remember is the habits and the support network and everything else that we develop now, we need to keep that going after this and make sure that they're not short-term habits, because these are the habits that are going to allow us to enrich our life moving forward in the long run. And mate, it's a testament to you. Like I said, 3 years in Dunfermline, you build this amazing community. Like you said, people love you. They know you're in it for them and for their best interests. And you're just really thriving there, mate. And it's really good to see. And I can't wait to see the next stage. So before we go, what is next for Nitrafit and Chris personally?
Our new gym is open. It should have been open, but COVID got in the way, which is fine. Again, when I get a knockback like everybody else, if you can't control it, move on. So the gym's ready to go as soon as COVID's finished. For me personally, mate, it's just keep growing, keep being a good dad, keep being a good partner, a good friend, and stay in touch, man. So we've got to stay in touch with each other, big guy. I know we text and that a lot, but let's get this call booked in.
Yeah, we will.
For anybody listening today, get a part of some sort of community for yourself, like O said, because you need that around you to succeed. If you're really struggling for the next step, sit and work out to yourself what's the one thing you could do the next day, just to slightly better than you were yesterday. Don't compare yourself. There's another saying, it's like, don't compare yourself to anybody else. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday.
Yeah.
That's it. If you can compare yourself to yesterday, you're a wee bit better today. Imagine that over a year.
Yeah. Massive.
How good could you get if you increase by even 0.1% every day over a year?
Yeah, that's massive as well, mate. That's massive. That's massive. So, buddy, basically my shout out is that anyone who knows anyone in the Dunfermline area or anyone who lives there needs to follow you and see what you're all about and follow the page. Shout out with your Instagram, Facebook, whatever social media or websites that people can get in touch, or people can write down now or follow you straight now on their phone and then send to their friends, even if they live in Glasgow or Edinburgh and they've got an auntie or a great auntie who lives in Dunfermline and wants to come to the boot camps. How do they find you?
Just mostly Nitrafit Training on Facebook. It's the only person with that name because it's a strange name. So, and the same with Instagram, it's at Nitrafit Training.
Yeah.
We've got a website which is just www.nitrafit.com. And that's it. We were running podcasts before COVID. We haven't done them since. I don't know why, but we'll get them going again.
Yeah, yeah. So that's Nitrafit, not nitro with an A at the end. Nitrafit.
Basically, if you look at Nitrafit, it's basically saying train fit. It's an anagram for train fit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Nitra is train mixed up.
Yep, nice. That's pretty cool. I didn't actually realise that either.
There you go, mate. There's another one. It's a school day again.
There we go, mate. Mate, I can't thank you enough for coming on. Obviously, we're gonna book in another call after this, but for today, thank you very much for coming on. Hopefully, we get some followers intermingling between our two pages now as a result of this.
Yeah, I'll get this shared as well, big guy.
Yeah, hopefully everyone who's listening gets something out of it, whether it's the community stuff or the routine stuff. And if you send me a link to that book, I'll see if it's available in Australia, but I'll be able to put the link. I'll save it in my notes to the link. If anyone wants it, they can hit me up, or they can hit you up, and we can send them the link to that journal book.
Big guy. Right, mate. Cheers for having me on. It's been great. I'll text you, and we'll get going with the 2 weekly calls.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Thank you very much for coming on, and thanks, guys, for listening.
Cheers for listening, guys. See you soon.
Thanks for listening to The O Show. I have been your host, Oren McCarry, and if you've enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you could share it on your social media or give us a review on iTunes. I can't wait to see you on the next episode to dive deeper into topics and guests that will supercharge your efforts in the gym, the kitchen, and most importantly, in your head. See you soon.